Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this experiment. I want you to do the first 3 examples with me and copy the answers while I do it. Les voy a enseñar cómo hacer este experimento en línea. Quiero que ustedes me miren cómo yo lo hago y copien las respuestas en tu versión en casa mientras que yo les enseño cómo hacerlo. So first, click on this link to open the experiment. You need a calculator. Please click here if you need a calculator. Or you can use your phone. Okay, step 1. Click on Turn Fluid into Water. Haz clic sobre esto. Turn fluid into water. Right here. Do this now. Haz esto ahora. You can click pause at any time to do the steps with me. Puedes hacer un clic sobre pause para parar el video y hacer los pasos conmigo. Step 2. Click on gold. Haz clic sobre gold, oro. Now we have a piece of gold. Tenemos un pedazo de oro. Next step. Move the piece of gold on top of the scale. So we're going to move the gold over here. Click on the gold and move it on top of the scale. It tells you the mass. This is the mass. Write down the mass of the gold on the data table. It's going to be in the blue column. So go to the data table. Pasen a la tabla de datos. This one, esto. We are doing gold first, gold. First you need to write down the mass in the blue column. The mass is 40.53 grams. So copy that here. Click here and write 40.53 grams. Write this on your version right now. Escriban esto sobre tu versión ahorita. Next step. Put the gold in the water. Meta el oro en el agua. So you're going to move the gold into the water. Look, right now it's 25.5 milliliters in volume. But let's see what happens when we put the gold in. The water was displaced. The water level went up. Write the volume of the water on the data table. You are going to write this in the yellow column. So over here, it tells you the new volume. The new volume is 27.6 milliliters. El nuevo volumen es 27.6 mililitros. 27, okay? So, go back to your data table. Vuelven a la tabla de datos. And in the yellow column, you are going to write 27.6 milliliters. This number goes in the yellow column. Make sure you copy this with me. Step 5. Subtract to find the volume of the gold and write it on the data table. Resta para calcular el volumen del oro y escríbelo en la tabla de datos en la columna morada. So you are going to do the yellow box minus the white box, and this is going to give you the volume of the gold. So let's do 27.6 minus 25.5. You can go to your calculator and do 27.6 minus 25.5. The volume of the gold is 2.1 milliliters. So you are going to write it here, 2.1 milliliters. That is the volume of the piece of gold. Esto es el volumen del pedazo de oro. We just did the water displacement method. Next step, write if the gold sinks or floats in water, okay? So, right now the gold is on the bottom. This means that it sinks in water. Floats means the gold stays up here. This is floating. Sinks means it goes to the bottom. So this piece of gold sinks in water. So we are going to write sinks. The piece of gold sinks in water. Make sure you copy this on your data table, okay? El pedazo de oro se hunde o baja en el agua. The last step, do mass divided by volume and write this number under density. Haz masa dividido por volumen y calculen la densidad del objeto. So, the mass is the blue column, which is 40.53 grams. For volume, we use the purple column, 2.1 milliliters, okay? And look, it's right here. Density, you do mass, the blue column, divided by the volume, the purple column, okay? So let's do this. Let's do 40.53 divided by 2.1. So let's clear this. 40.53 divided by 2.1. And we get 19.3. The density of gold is 19.3. And the units we use are cubic centimeters. Cubic centimeters. Okay. Change the substance to lead. Repeat these steps and fill out your data table for all the substances. Vas a cambiar la sustancia y repetir estos pasos para todas las sustancias. So, look on your data table. The next substance is lead. Okay? The next substance is lead. Lead looks like this. It's a metal. Okay? La próxima sustancia es un metal que se llama plomo. So, click on lead. Okay, now we have lead. Ahora tenemos un pedazo de plomo. We're going to do the same thing. The first thing we need is mass. For mass, you put it on the scale. 72.32 grams. So you write it here. 72.32 grams. Then you calculate the volume using the water displacement method. Right now, the water is 25.5 milliliters. That's this white column. We need to do the volume in water, okay? So put this in the water, and the water went up to 31.9 milliliters. You write this number in the yellow column, 31.9 milliliters. Over here, 31.9 milliliters. To find the volume of lead, you need to do the final volume minus the initial volume. So we're going to do 31.9 minus 25.5. 31.9 minus 25.5. 6.4 is our answer. So the volume of the lead is 6.4 milliliters. El volumen del plomo es 6.4 mililitros y lo sacamos por restar el volumen final con el plomo adentro menos el volumen inicial sin el plomo en el agua. Then we need to write, does it sink or float in water? It goes to the bottom. It's sinked. Okay? It's sinked. So here we're going to write sinks. The last thing we do is density. Remember, density is mass, the blue column, divided by volume, the purple column. So we're going to do 72.32 divided by 6.4. So let's do that right now. Clear this. 72.32 divided by 6.4. And we get 11.3 grams per cubic centimeters. 11.3. And then we can just copy this here. Grams per cubic centimeters. So this is the density of lead. Esto es la densidad del plomo. Okay, let's do one more together, and then you guys will do these by yourselves. Vamos a hacer uno más juntos, y luego les van a tocar estos tres solitos. The last material we're going to use is foam. Foam. Okay? So, let's change this to foam. Okay? So, the first thing we need is the mass. So, put the foam on the scale. Ooh, it's very light. 2.76 grams. So, let's write that here. 2.76 grams. Okay? That's the mass. Then we need the volume in water. So, let's put it in the water. And just put it slowly. If you do like this, it's going to jump up and down, up and down. It's going to take forever. So what I like to do is move it here slowly to the top, like that. And wait until this stops moving. Esperen hasta que esto deja de cambiar. Okay, so it's not moving anymore, so 28.3 is our final volume, 28.3. So let's write that here, 28.3 milliliters. Now we have to calculate the volume of the substance. We need to do this one, the initial volume, the final volume, minus the original volume. So 28.3 minus 25.5. 28.3 minus 25.5 gives me 2.8 milliliters. So 2.8 milliliters is the volume of this piece of foam. Okay, does it sink or float in water? It's on the top. So this floats in water. Floats. All right, and the last thing we need to do is calculate the density of foam. So for density, we do mass divided by volume. Okay, so let's do 2.76 divided by 2.8. 2.76 grams divided by 2.8 milliliters gives us 0.98. Okay, we only need 2 decimal places, so we can round this to 0.99 if we want. Okay, so let's make this 0.99. 0.99, and then we can write the units there. Okay, now you are going to do the same thing for iron, hierro. Okay, iron is right here, so you're going to click on iron and do the same thing. Then you're going to do wood, madera. Okay, you click on wood. Where's the wood? Okay, iron, wood. Keep it in the water and change it to wood. Oh, here's the wood. It looks kind of clear, so be careful. Okay, so here's the wood. And then you're going to do rubber. Rubber. Okay, like on your car tires, there's rubber. So you click rubber. And oops, it's very small, right? Okay. Oh, if it disappears, click on it again or change it. Uh-oh, what happened to it? Okay, if this happens to you, you can't find it, click on refresh and click on turn fluid into water. Click on rubber, and there you go. Okay, in case you lose it. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat.